Okay.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
First things first, we're getting official. We're on everywhere. Not something called everywhere, but we're on all sorts of things.
We sure are.
We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. We're on what is it? Amazon Music? What did you say?
We're on
Amazon Music? Amazon Music?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're on all major platforms.
Okay. Legitness.
Yeah, big update.
But yeah, so that's super cool. That's exciting. Got some followers, some cool stuff. And I just was gonna say that we had to do a shout out for Utah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Utah's our majority listeners right now.
Which is weird because I don't know anybody from Utah.
Yeah. But so cool. And we're going to have to do something in Utah. I feel like we got to do it for our peeps out there.
Yeah, we're going to have to find something in Utah.
Yeah.
And specifically Salt Lake area.
Yeah.
That's where it is. So let us know. I think you can ask a question at the end of the podcast or just email us at didn'tanyonemention@gmail.com.
Uh-huh.
And just literally anything.
Yeah. If you have any... Yeah. Send it in.
More than happy.
Yeah. That'd be super exciting. And that's cool. So.
Okay, we're back into it.
Okay. Yeah. So. Well, I guess let's get started. I got some cool stuff to go over. But I'm Sam.
And I'm Miguel.
And yeah, it's the month of Halloween, like I said many times before. So why not go over the origin of Halloween?
Okay.
So, I kind of think you knew that was coming, but
I was waiting for it. It really was.
there's some cool stuff. It's obvious. It didn't start in America, so that's the first thing. It's not like an American holiday. Like it's something that. Obviously, America's, like, we've talked about that. America's kind of new, too, though. Like,
can I guess what country it's from?
Of course.
Turkey. That's my guess.
So modern day. I don't know. Well, because, okay.
So.
Where it is modern day, like, geographically, modern day in Ireland, UK, and northern France. So, not Turkey. Sorry.
Pretty close.
But I don't know.
Same continent.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So, but it was a Celtic festival of Samhain.
Like sewing?
How it's spelled is Samhain, but it's pronounced so-in.
Interesting.
So, at least that's what they said. So, but this was it started over 2,000 years ago. And it was celebrating a new year. Which the new year was November 1st. But all the partying happened on New Year's Eve. Hallows Eve.
So it's actually started off on the new year?
So what it was because this was the end of summer and harvest and the beginning of dark and cold winter.
Which was Halloween time?
Which was, that was the marking of it, is November 1st was winter starts. So this is, because harvesting summer, think about how much death there was in winter too. Like, food shortages, freezing, not being able, all that stuff.
Don't know.
So I guess how they like starting off their new year is some rough patches. But yeah, that was the mark of a new year, new harvesting, like new life cycle. Because I'm guessing they kind of go more based off of like plants and now ending, it ends and then it's going through that life cycle of harvesting that was their lifeline. So, but the time of year is associated with like human death because there is so much bad stuff going on. I already kind of said that. Food shortages, sicknesses, stuff like that, taking out people. So that's, Halloween, death, scary.
Yeah, doesn't sound super fun, to be honest.
But the night before New Year, they believe that the boundary between worlds became blurred.
Oh, okay, this sounds familiar.
Yeah, so cross a lot of things. they think that it's been blurred. Like, you'll find that in a lot of spots. That's why some people think, like, during eclipses, full moon, stuff like that, they believe that as well. But the eve of a new year, that's the weakest. But Druids built huge bonfires that's where they were, like, huge, massive. They would burn any crops.
You say Druids?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Druids are just another sort of, like, religion that was more, I guess, ritualistic.
Like pagans?
Yeah, kind of. Because pagans were, like, they didn't follow, but, like, Druids were kind of the same, like, same kind of area of religion. But where they burned crops and animals, like, almost like sacrificing, like, for the new year.
Nice.
Which I was like, well, why don't you just keep them for the winter?
Okay, just pause for a second.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about, like, this sacrificing stuff. How did it get so big, like, across almost all major civilizations? Like, the Aztecs, they would kill 50,000 people a year because if blood wasn't flowing, they believe, like, the end of the world was happening. Like, how?
I think it's always...
Like that, there.
I don't know. Like, I think sacrificing is just something natural. Like, think about every single day. Like, we may not be, physically sacrificing food or animals or something, but you sacrifice a lot of stuff. Like, maybe you don't want to do everything you want to do. Like, I think it's like sacrifices you make for your family, sacrifices you make for, loved ones, stuff like that.
Right.
To where it's something naturally, but if you do it on a bigger scale, you might get something bigger.
Like taking a life?
Taking a life, you might get a life, like where you, like, might, do sacrifices to then be, like, fertile or something, stuff like that.
That's so crazy.
Or to give up some life so that you would keep more lives saved, I would say that's just, like, bigger scaled.
That's so crazy. Like, just thinking about it, like...
Dude, could you imagine me living back in that day? Just be like...
Bro, I'd be sacrificed for fun, to be honest.
Just be... Well, then it's like, what do they pick? Like, do they pick the weakest people, or do they pick, like,
virgins?
These people, virgins were always one of them.
Yeah.
But you should be a virgin, quote unquote, until you're married. Or give yourself to a man, because then you become their property.
Dun, dun, dun.
But yeah, so it's a pretty interesting point. You're not wrong.
Okay, very side note there.
But another, so this is another fun thing. Celts wore costumes of animal heads and skins and attempted to tell each other's fortunes on the eve of the new year.
So they would wear the heads of their actual, like...
Well, think about how clean we can get stuff today. Can you imagine? You're just covered in, like, animal guts and blood.
Yeah.
So, that's disgusting. And, could you imagine the smell? None of it's fresh. I can tell you that. Ugh.
I don't know. They probably preserved it pretty well.
What? In the middle of fall where it gets up to, higher degrees? I don't know. Do you think it's... I don't know what their temperature's like over there. Is it pretty...
From what I remember, Ireland, or what is it? Never mind. It's not Ireland. I was thinking of Greenland and Iceland.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm trying to think. Is there... I wonder if their weather, their climate is close to ours. If, like, they have the same seasons or not, or if they have more colder. Or, I think it's colder. I think they're farther from the equator, so I bet maybe you're right. But I still think it's going to be gross. Yeah. You're going to have some nasty stuff.
Yeah.
But in 43 AD, the Roman Empire conquered majority of Celtic territory, and they ruled for about 400 years. But two festivals of the Roman origin were combined. Feralia, and which is like the passing of dead, and then the day of
Wait, what was it called?
Feralia, and it was the passing of the dead. It was like a celebration of, I would say, like, kind of close to, like, de los Muertos, like where you're like celebrating the dead kind of a thing.
Okay.
And then and then they have the Day of Honor of Panoma, the goddess of fruit and trees. And Panoma, her symbol was the apple. And that's why you would see a lot of bobbing for apples or apples around this time of year. So that's like, because I always wondered, and plus apples are in harvest. That's also part of like why they celebrate her at this time of year. She's fruit and trees and all that fun stuff. So yeah, that would be bobbing for apples. Think of Panama.
Halloween.
Yeah, but there's also All Saints Day, which I actually have more specifics about All Saints Day in this.
So what is All Saints Day?
Oh, I'll tell you. So on May 13th, 609 AD, Pope Boniface IV dedicated the was it Pantheon in Rome? No, that doesn't sound right.
Pantheon?
Yeah, that's what it is. Jeez.
I don't know. That was a guess.
In Rome, which all of Christian and Catholic feasts. It's All Miters Day. So it's like established. It was like Western Church. Pope Gregory III later expanded the festival to include all saints. So it was saints of this religion of, you know how like Catholics have saints. So it's celebrating all the saints on this day.
Okay.
And then same with like Christians have is it miters? Why am I look at this word for me?
What do we got here?
That right there.
Martyrs.
Why is it spelled like that? That's the silliest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, you tell them.
English language. Anyways. So, and then Christians have martyrs that are kind of similar. They're the same category as Catholic saints, Christians, martyrs. So,
I always thought martyrs meant like they were bad.
Well, I think it's not even like bad. I think that they're just symbols. Like, okay. So, when they established that, the Pope, when he established that this day, May 13th, was like the day to celebrate these people, they actually ended up moving it to November 1st. Doesn't say why. They just were like, it seems more a little fallish. But by the 19th century, the influence of Christianity has spread into the Celtic lands, where it gradually blended with supplanted older Celtic rites. In AD 1000 AD, the church made November 2nd an All Souls Day, a day to honor the dead. It's widely believed today the church was attempting to replace the Celtic festival with the dead, the Celtic festival of the dead, with a related church-sanctioned holidays. So it sounds like All Saints Day kind of came from them trying to make it more of a Christian thing and more of a church-focused and sanctioned holiday over them just doing whatever they wanted to do.
Interesting. Okay.
Which...
Classic, I gotta say.
Yeah. Which All Souls Day was celebrated really similar to Samhain, the first kind of Celtic celebration that I was talking about. Is
that still celebrated to this day? Or did it transition over to...
It's transitioned into this. I bet hardcore people, I bet are like, Halloween's a ripoff kind of a thing, but who knows? But they still...
people that don't celebrate Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because...
You mean, or what do they call it? Pilgrimage Day? No. Instead of Thanksgiving, they call it like...
Something else? I don't know what it is.
Conquer Day? I don't know.
Mass Murder Day? Gosh, jeez.
Smallpox Day.
Smallpox.
Too soon.
Anyways, so this was still celebrated with bonfires, parades, dressing up as saints, angels, devils, stuff like that. So this is when people like started dressing up, maybe not just as animals and doing that. It kind of branched out a little bit more.
But more along the lines of like religion, like devils, angels.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was also called All Hallows or All Hallowmas from the Middle English All Hallow Masi, meaning All Saints Day. So it's just another translation. Kind of breaks it down. Halloween, and then it became All Hallows Eve, and eventually Halloween. So it was All Hallows Eve.
I like Hallows Eve way better. Like, why do we change it to Halloween?
Halloween! I don't know, it just got a nice ring to it.
But Hallows Eve just sounds good.
Spooky. It was too spooky.
What are you doing for Hallows Eve? Spooky, right?
I know.
Now,
Well, they were
what are you doing for Halloween?
Well, they wanted to change it so so that they could really just mark it on New Year's Eve. You know, you can't have too many Eves. We got Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. We can't have Hallows Eve as well. We got Eve, 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 Eve.
See, but then I think if it has an Eve, we probably get it off for work. Just an idea.
You're not wrong.
Just an idea. I think we start the petition right now.
Do it. You get it going. Make one up.
Halloween's Eve.
Halloween's Eve. So, you're wondering, we're in America. How to get here, you know?
I don't know.
So, it's funny. It's actually it was more common in Maryland and southern colonies. So
was it brought over entirely?
Yeah, so it was extremely limited to colonial New England because of the rigid Protestant belief systems there. So it was pretty much Maryland and southern colonies. Like, it was pretty low-key, more strict. But obviously beliefs and customs from different European ethnic groups and then American Indians meshed to make our distinctly American version of Halloween. So we got to mix all these different cultures to make this is what we know now today as Halloween.
So really Halloween should be Indigenous Peoples' Day. I don't know. Okay. How did candy get involved in going to people's houses?
I'll tell you.
Oh, you got that in there?
I'm getting there, yes.
Because I'm like, this is making sense. It all starts with religion. Like, honestly, what history doesn't begin with religion? But, like, to today's Halloween, where did candy come in? Also, where do people feel okay with giving out pennies or toothbrushes?
People give out pennies?
Yeah, you never got a handful of pennies?
No, dude. Why not take them in from a coin counter and get them freaking loaded?
No, we used to have a neighbor in the neighborhood. Oh, she wasn't really a neighbor, but she was in the neighborhood that would hand out pennies and classic little kid toothpaste. Which in hindsight now... I do remember
that house, the toothpaste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You remember that house?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were really close to it, weren't you?
I was about to say, fun fact, we used to live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
For a little bit. I didn't live there the whole time.
When we were little Halloweenies.
I was like, junior high-ish? I think I trick-or-treated one or two more times.
Bro, I tried trick-or-treating through middle school, bro. I tried.
I mean, dude, you gotta get that candy.
Yeah, seriously.
Just might as well just dress up as something a little bit trendier in the younger kids.
Yeah.
Trick them.
You can only trick them so far when the kids are like 2 foot tall, and then you're coming up like 6 foot.
But you still had a little brother, so it's like you could still trick or treat.
Yeah,
just take him in.
Yeah, that's true. I just always felt wrong though.
I know.
Like, I'm taking him out, but like, you want to give me some candy too?
I mean, we got a kid now.
That's true. They better give me some candy.
There you go.
Be like, hey, it'd be a shame if your tires were flat tomorrow. Nothing that a little Snickers can't fix.
A little teepee just made it up in that tree.
It's strange. I saw some kids egging houses. Do you want me to stop them?
I saw this person who was like, yeah, we do, for our daughter, she doesn't need that much candy, so she picks out, like, 5 pieces of candy, and she puts the rest in a basket for the Halloween bunny or Halloween fairy or something like that, and they replace it with a toy that she's been wanting. And I was like, bro, all you know is those parents are like...
Dude, that is actually not a horrible idea.
No, but I would say only 5 pieces. I would give her at least, like, okay, pick out 10 good pieces of candy.
10's not much better, bro. I could plow through 10.
That's
Give me
the
5
point.
minutes.
That's the point. Is to not have that much candy.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd want a lot.
Well, that's what... Well, when she's little, I bet we could do that. But when she gets older, then it makes sense.
I'm only keeping the Reese's,
Just give her... You'd be like...
the Snickers, and the Twix. Kit Kats.
Are you gonna go... So are you gonna be the parent that goes through and be like, okay, cough up some?
Well, of course.
Or you're gonna be the parent that says, okay, we need to check her for razors, and you just eat half of it and then give it back?
I'm not gonna be that parent. I'll check with her.
Okay. Because, yeah, you got to go through and get inventory of all your stuff. That's the fun stuff.
Looks really suspicious. Let me just...
Yeah.
Dad, you've eaten 20. I know. I do this for you.
This is... It hurts me more than it hurts you.
I go to bed with heartburn.
Spoken like a true parent. But anyways... So, the first celebration included play parties, which were public events held in celebration to the first celebration included play parties, which were public events that held... What am I doing right now? Jeez, I can't even read. They were held to celebrate the harvest. That's what I'm going to say. We're going to go through all the words.
Yeah.
They're trying to celebrate the harvest.
Yeah.
But neighbors then would start saying like spooky stories, like stories of the dead, and tell each other their fortunes and sing and dance.
And this started in Maryland?
This was a part of our, when it's
like our whole combined culture here in America.
This is starting
This didn't go over to Britain and stuff.
Well, Britain was a part of it where they were like trying to do some of this stuff, but it was becoming more of like a party thing. So these were like...
Of course, classic Americans did.
Am I right? Fun fact, just a little like fun fact in here, that there was like... Well, actually, I don't know if I want to tell you this one now or later. But either way...
Tell me.
I'll just tell you now. People are buying more costumes for their pets. Like between 2010 and within the last few years, people are spending more than double what they spent in 2010, which is equal to $500 million on costumes for their pets.
So, wait.
So within the last...
The way you said it makes me think that people are spending more money on their pets than on themselves?
Well, this is so they didn't compare it to anything. They're just saying between 2010, they were spending half of what they're spending nowadays on their pets' costume.
I 100% believe it. I bet people get like custom made.
Dude.
Like,
if you think about it,
going crazy.
Also, a lot of people are having no kids, or I should say, they're not having kids.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's just they're a lot of work, and some people just don't want to do it. I just think it's also like hard work.
It is.
It's a big part of it.
It is.
I'm not saying that like, and then some people just don't want to, maybe because of their own like trauma or experience or whatever they want, whatever you want to say.
But also from pretty much what I hear through, like everybody our age, just like dating's kind of impossible right now because everybody's just kind of a fuck. Like, that sucks.
Yeah, I know. Well, plus like, well, I think it's just a bit hard. Like you're just. Technology's a blessing and a curse, It's like you just have so much input sometimes where you're kind of overloaded and you're like, well, crap. I don't want to date this person because of X, Y, and Z because this person does it,
Yeah, but I feel like everybody's also on the search for like they're perfect. They need to be
because they see that there's these
that.
perfect people, quote unquote, everywhere.
I mean, yes and no, I mean, okay, I get where you're coming from, but I don't know.
The same.
It absolutely could be.
Anyways, back to Halloween. Colonial Halloween festivities also feature telling ghost stories and mischief making of all kinds. This is where those little pranksters, those crazy...
Those leprechauns, dude?
No, no, this is like... No, like pranks, like TPing, egging people, like mischievous
it started
things.
back back when?
Well, this is like mischievous making of all kind. They're just being little naughty kids, you know? Or people, I guess. It was like celebration for all. But by the middle of the 19th century, annual autumn festivities were common, but Halloween was not yet celebrated quite everywhere in the country. In the second half of the 19th century, America was flooded with new immigrants, which these new immigrants, especially Irish, remember, it was in modern-day Ireland where Halloween was originating.
Wait, so this is not even that old then?
This is 19th century. This was during the potato famine. So the Irish potato famine. It helped popularize Halloween nationally. So because all of these Irish people were coming in to get away from the Irish potato famine, if you remember from what I said earlier, Ireland, that was where it mostly originated from, northern France and the UK, and they all came here, and that's how they jump-started Halloween. Just got it all going through the America.
So they saw what it was, and then they were like, this is our version of Halloween? Well, and then they kind of blended it in with already the blended Halloween?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's actually very cool.
Yeah. So it's cool. So, you said trick-or-treating. You have some questions about that.
Oh, yeah. Like how did that become synonymous with Halloween?
So, this is some borrowing from European traditions, because it was kind of European-wise. I guess they were already doing it, because it said that Americans began to start dressing up in costumes and going house to house, asking for food or money. A practice eventually became trick-or-treating. Young women believed that on Halloween they could divine their name or appearance of their future husbands by doing trick with yarn, apple parings, or mirrors. So they thought on Halloween they could see their future husband.
Interesting.
But the late 1800s, there was a move in America to mold Halloween into a holiday more about community and neighborly get-togethers, about ghosts, pranks, witchcraft. That became more for children and adults, and that's the most common way that they celebrated. These parties became more about games, food, and the season and fun costumes.
Classic Americans, dude.
Dude, I know.
Honestly, pretty proud of them.
I mean, they find a party for everything. Dude, they really can.
I know.
So, and then newspapers came out also about how parents should be encouraged, or they were trying to encourage parents to and newspapers and community leaders. So people were saying hey, frightening and grotesque should not be a part of Halloween. It shouldn't be spooky. We should just be dressing up for fun. So it's always been kind of that battle between being scary and being more family friendly.
Since the start.
Yeah. And then they also believe that because of these efforts, because they were trying to take out the spookiness of it, a lot of its superstitions and religious overtones that were kind of a part of it disappeared. But that was kind of from the 12th century started disappearing. So that's why you don't really think about all more likely it came from a religion, but you don't really think about it. You think about trick-or-treating, you just think about having fun, you think about costumes, you think about freaking these marketings making money.
That's what I think of every time. Exactly. I think of trick-or-treating, I think of marketing. Exactly.
So, trick-or-treating was... So, a lot of things gets out of control. When you get too crazy, stuff gets out of control.
Don't I know?
So... It was obviously a community holiday. Parades, townwide Halloween parties. This is always started to happen. But by the like 1920s, 1930s, a lot of like vandalism became like a thing. Like pretty bad in communities, like
pranks?
Big things. Yeah. People just going too crazy. But
for the rest of us.
I know. 1950s, people got they got it more down, vandalism, and Halloween, like that was directly they had limited the vandalism, and Halloween had been more evolved to just the young. So this is when it kind of started switching from not everybody partying, not everybody doing this, just little kids.
So because of people taking it too far during the 20s and 30s, they were like, all right, like this is the cutoff.
Yeah.
Fuck those guys.
That's why you couldn't go trick-or-treating
I could be trick-or-treating right now.
Yeah, if these people didn't mess it up. Yeah, 100%.
The roaring 20s, huh?
Got too roaring. But trick-or-treating was a relatively inexpensive way for an entire community to share the Halloween celebration. So instead of everybody having to get together, the city having to put money into putting the celebration on, people could just get candy, pass it out.
So essentially what I'm hearing is the city that collects our tax dollars didn't want to give us fucking candy. So they said, no, you go buy the candy and we'll tax you on whatever you buy.
You're not wrong.
Classic.
Man. Okay. Sorry, guys. Just had a little tickle. I thought I was going to die. Okay. Anyways. Where was I at? Oh, but also in theories, families could also prevent tricks, quote unquote, that was going to be played on them, providing the kids with small treats. Then they wouldn't want to do anything to them because they would be handing out treats to them.
Okay.
So, but do you want to know how much America spends estimately on candy every single year?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. Americans, there's 350 million.
I'll tell you this too. I'll help you. This is the country's second largest commercial holiday after Christmas.
Okay. So there's 350 million Americans. A bag of candy costs, I don't know, I haven't even looked at the candy prices.
They're like $20.
$20 a bag?
Dude, at least.
$20? Okay. So I'm going to give you a rock solid.
That's like if a Costco.
$3 billion.
3?
$3 billion.
Double it. $6 billion.
Damn, $6 billion?
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
That's wild.
Yeah. So that's pretty rough.
That is so much money.
Yes, that is a lot of money. And I guess I don't know what I thought would be the second most leading after Christmas. But it makes sense that it's Halloween. But like what other holiday? Because I was like, oh, Halloween's the second?
Even 4th of July?
I just think 4th of July. I don't know. I guess not. I think decorations is a big money pit.
So we're okay, I was just thinking
this is
straight
a
candy.
Commercial. No, this is commercial. Well, no, the $6 billion was just candy.
Oh, damn, that's just candy.
Yeah, but like commercial, like spending wise,
yeah,
Halloween is number 2. So that's like commercial wise, so everything.
Okay.
So that was just like, yeah, it's not just the candy part.
I mean, that's okay. I can see that because not everybody buys fireworks because everybody knows they're expensive.
Also,
you can buy just one bag of candy and you're like, even if you're struggling, possibly you'd be like, I have one bag of candy. They might be dum dums, but there's something.
Yeah, I have one. Yeah, because you want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing is, 4th of July, you have all the fireworks. Other thing is there's marketing on
meat, hot dogs,
exactly,
burgers,
all that stuff.
A beer, dude. Honestly, like a fire roasted hot dog right now.
Dude, man, that sounds real good.
A little bit of mayo, a little bit of ketchup, dude. A little crispy,
some cheese,
some cheese,
or a cheese hot dog. Oof. Man. Take me back to 4th of July. How was it?
That sounds good right now.
We didn't have a newborn.
True.
But no, it was no, because I didn't think about it. You don't decorate for 4th. I mean, You know, some people do decorate for 4th of July.
Yeah, but it's far and few between.
But it's like, if I would decorate for 4th of July, it'd be a flag. I'd throw up a flag.
Yeah.
Basically. And even then, I've wanted to get a flagpole, but I just haven't.
The thing is, like, you could put up a flagpole and you'd be more decorated than like 80% of the people.
Exactly.
You put one flagpole during 4th of July and you're like, they're thinking, that motherfucker's patriotic. He is about America. He loves
his country.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. You do one flagpole on 4th of July. I know,
but then then it's like, okay, you have a good amount of people who decorate for Halloween.
Yeah, but like people that like...
also think about outside.
Yeah, like outside. Dude. Like we have a few inflatables, you know? Mm-hmm. But there's people that have like 40.
Dude.
You know? People probably drive by and they recognize the houses like, oh yeah, these people are they're gonna blow it out of the park this year. Well, and then they see other houses where it's just one giant skeleton. They're like, all right, dude. Like,
well, it's also like Christmas. Think about how much money people spend on Christmas lights. Dude. People go out sometimes. They got like choreographed music.
They gotta wait till the freaking clearance, bruh.
I know. You got to. I saw what's the song? It's like, get your hatchets out. Da, 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 da. Ding, 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 ding. Now murder. Ding, ding, ding. You don't know that song?
No, doesn't ring a bell.
Well, of course you don't. Anyways.
Side note. Go ahead.
I was going to say, somebody had their whole house, like, fully, like, Christmas lighted out, but it was all, like, murder stuff. It was so crazy. It was so cool.
That's pretty cool.
I was like...
Side note, if you're going to buy Christmas lights, get the LEDs. No more of the incandescent little bulbs, because you can string along, like, 30 LED lights, different strings, and you'd be okay when you can only get, like, maybe 8 incandescent bulbs. So, side note, there you go.
Why?
The amperage on the LEDs is way lower compared to these bulbs.
You can't do it because you blow a fuse?
You'd probably blow a fuse or your breaker would trip. Or maybe both.
Nice. Thank you for that education.
Just a little...
Thank you.
I'm not going to tell you to do it, though. Like, be safe. Anyways, moving on.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, ma'am. Anything else that can help you?
I don't think so. So, more on trick-or-treating. There's All Souls Day, which we kind of talked about. Right. And then Soul Cakes. So,
Soul Cakes, huh?
Yeah.
The baddies of the underworld.
Yes. Trick-or-treating dates back to this. There was All Souls Days back in England. Not back in England, but in England. During the festivities, poor citizens would beg for food, and families would give them pastries called soul cakes in return to promise that they would pay for their dead family members, like their relatives. You would say, hey, I know you're starving, but I'm going to give you this, but you need to pray for my family.
Oh, it was like
my dead family. You need to pray for them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that how soup kitchens began?
I don't think so. I don't know. I think soup kitchens have the concept has always been around.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that crazy? They think that that's also a part of how trick-or-treating came.
Here, you're starving, but forget your family. If I give you this little piece of bread, you're thinking about my family. Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So,
capitalism. Even in the underworld.
But obviously this was encouraged by the church to do so. Soul cakes were encouraged by the church because pretty much they were trying to replace the leaving of food and wine for roaming spirits, which is, like I said, kind of close to Day of the Dead, where you would leave things on the ofrenda, like their food or favorite drink, stuff like that. Yeah. They wanted to get rid of that because they think the practice, which was referring to...
so was this Christianity then?
That was pushing out this, yes.
Okay. So they probably saw that and didn't like because
Catholic Mexico, and Christianity was different.
Well, yeah, I know it's different, but...
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is they were trying to push it out and then... so...
Classic.
But...
Absolute classic.
So, yeah, but anyway, so the practice, which was referred to as going a-souling, was eventually taken up by children who would visit houses in their neighborhood to be given ale, food, and money. So,
honestly, let's bring that back.
Like, money? Can I get some money, dude?
Well, just like somebody just in their front yard just grilling up.
Dude.
You're like, trick or treat.
Could you imagine?
Fat burger in your mouth.
Oh my gosh. If there was more trick-or-treaters, you would be legit freaking having some hot cocoa and be like, do you need a spiked hot cocoa or a regular one for the parents?
Dude, honestly, let's leave the kids and let them have candy.
Yeah.
Let's give the adults, like, you buy like couple racks of beer or whatever, or some wine, and you're like,
and you don't have to get the fancy stuff.
No, dude. Like, hey, like, I know you're freezing out here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you want to warm up just a little bit, even though it doesn't warm you up. Here you go.
Yeah.
Trick or treat,
dude. Or like a mini. Toss it your way, bud.
Oh, that'd be a good idea. That would be a good idea.
Minis can get expensive.
Yeah.
I can't remember what I was gonna buy them for, but I was gonna do something. I want to say it was a Halloween party last year, because that would have been the last time I would have tried to buy them. Right. And I was you put a tissue over it and you make like little eyes and they're little ghosts, and it's like shot roulette kind of a thing. And I was gonna do that, but they were like $3 or $4 a piece. I'm like, that's been like $50 if I want to buy like 10 of them. It's just
like a little shot,
dude.
When you could spend like $10 more and get so many more.
Like I could get like 30 shots. It feels like.
I know.
So, but yeah, so that's insane. But, anyways, also on Souls Day, on Halloween, it was believed that ghosts would come back to the earthly world. That was that line being blurred.
Yep.
And people would think that if they left their home, they would encounter ghosts. So to avoid being recognized by these ghosts, they would wear something that they couldn't be recognized by. So these would be also like they would dress up as ghosts so that these ghosts would mistake them for fellow spirits.
Oh.
So this is also why people thought like you needed to dress up. But to keep ghosts away from your house, people would place bowls of food outside their home to appease the ghosts to prevent them to trying to enter. So that's also a part of kind of trick-or-treating, is that you would want to satisfy those spirits or those ghosts.
Instead of them coming in and trying to mess up your world, you just leave some food out for them?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so, I mean, Halloween has a ton of, because it's like when the border line worlds are blurred. People did a lot of things, like they did some like rituals and some matchmaking, and I thought I would kind of finish off with some fun stuff like that.
Okay.
But because obviously trick-or-treaters, we all know about that, but there's some other like little ones, but many had to do with young women trying to figure out like their future husband, and pretty much reassuring that they would actually get a husband one day, with luck by hopefully being Halloween and being married. They were hoping that by the next year they'd be married. Done.
Through Halloween and all that good stuff?
Yeah. So,
nice.
In the 18th century Ireland, a matchmaking cook might bury a ring in her mashed potatoes on Halloween night, hoping to bring true love to dinner, to the dinner who found it. So they would hide rings in mashed potatoes, and then they were hoping that whoever would get it, true love would end up finding them.
Like
on Halloween.
I get it, but like, I mean, also,
I don't know the logic behind it. But
how many people you serve mashed potatoes to? Like, if you're just putting your ring in.
Well, it's like a cook, so I'm guessing it's at a restaurant, and be like, or like where they're getting food made for them.
That's gross.
I mean, could you imagine a ring just...
Dude, imagine you're just chopping, you're just like, bro, these mashed potatoes are
their teeth were already wrecked. Who cared, dude?
You're right. It was honestly just like it was a crown molding is all it was. If you bit into it hard enough.
Exactly. Exactly. So I got Scotland. Fortune tellers recommended that eligible young women name a hazelnut for each one of their suitors, then toss the nuts into a fireplace. The nut that burned to ashes rather than popping or exploded would represent the girl's future husband.
Why was there so much pressure on a husband?
Dude, because they were the ones that would make, they would sell women to men.
Man.
It's just because men were the, breadwinners.
What a time to be alive.
So they were always worried about that. I mean, if you, women didn't have jobs. At this point, they didn't have rights. So, yeah, you would want somebody who could do something.
Maybe not rights in America.
I mean,
wait,
how
what
many
year
rights?
Was this?
I don't know what year this one is, but this one, it said that it was, the one before was 18th century, so I'm guessing it's around the same time.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know in Europe if the timetables are different there.
Yeah, but besides, Greek and maybe Roman, not a lot of women have ever been seen as equal.
True.
So, but yeah, so they would do that. And then some legends are saying the opposite. So the nut that burned was a love that would not last. So it depended on who you asked.
Oh, okay.
The one that burned was either the one that you loved, or the one that burned was going to be, that's not the one that's going to survive. They were just covering
their tracks, dude.
Exactly. They were like, oh, he freaking...
They were waiting for you to be confused.
Exactly. So, another one, a young woman ate a sugary concoction made out of walnuts, hazelnut, and nutmeg before bed on Halloween. She would have a dream about her future husband. I like that one. I think that one was kind of funny. You just have to eat something, a bunch of sugar, which will always make you have weird dreams. And
that's never done it for me.
Well, you don't dream anyways.
I do dream sometimes. I mean, maybe I'll just have a bunch of sugar tonight, and I'll let you know how it goes.
You gotta tell me in the morning. So these are pretty much all matchmaker ones. But young women tossed apple peels over their shoulders, hoping that the peels would fall on the floor in the shape of their future husband's initials.
These seem more like party games.
I'm serious. They're trying to figure it out. And then they tried to learn about their futures by peering into egg yolks floating in a bowl of water, and stood in front of mirrors in darkened room, holding candles, looking over their shoulders for their husbands' faces. They were obsessed.
Well, dude, imagine that. If you're a young girl, you're ready for, getting married or having kids even. Mm-hmm. And, you're maybe in your own little village, and you look around, and it's all these freaking horrible-looking dudes.
Smelly.
And there's only one gem in there, and you're just like, fuck. I hope I get that guy.
Not these stinky old men.
It's not my choice. Yeah. It's not my choice. And so you're just doing everything you can to just hopefully get a good looking dude that doesn't stink or beat you.
Yeah. Ugh, man.
And then you get sold off to a politician.
That's rough.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It's a rough life.
Yeah. Well, these are most of my rituals for you, but other ones were more competitive. So at some parties, the first guest to find a burr on a chestnut hunt would be the first to marry. And at others, the first successful apple bobber would be the first one down the aisle.
Have you ever done apple bobbing?
No.
Me either.
All I know is I've heard it's awfully hard.
I feel like it wouldn't be that hard, but then again, I've never done it.
I know. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we will.
Maybe we will
do it so you can try it.
I don't think it'd be that hard.
I think it would be hard.
But then again, I have a small mouth. Maybe we do kiwis instead.
I think the point is that the apple's kind of hard to bite into, too.
Look at these chompers.
I'm not saying you have a small mouth, but maybe.
I have a small mouth, dude. Maybe we could do cherry tomatoes or something.
Cherry tomatoes. Crab apples.
Have Have you ever eaten a crabapple?
No, aren't they tart though?
Yeah, dude. My dad used to have a tree like in the front yard, and my dad would say like, "Oh yeah, these are good," and he'd eat them, no problem. And
He must like tart stuff.
No, my dad was just. I saw him eat a bee once.
Dude,
we walked out of a freaking buffet, dude.
He just ate it after a buffet?
Yeah. Well, you know my dad and flowers. And he's like, oh, that's a good looking one. He found a freaking honeybee or a wasp, I don't know to this day. And he grabbed it and he stuck his tongue out and he set the bee or the wasp right on his tongue. Put it right in there and he ate it, dude.
No, he didn't.
He did, I swear to God. And I remember as a kid, I was like, you can't fuck with this guy. He's invincible. That's probably why I did it.
I remember we found this bug, and we had like holding it by its wings, and I was like, Dad, I really want to make my brother eat this. Is it safe for him to eat? Throws it in his mouth, eats it. Yeah, it's good for me. Bro, now I gotta go find another bug.
God damn it, I worked so hard.
You know how long it took me to catch that thing by the wing? Oh my gosh. But either way, most of these like things were for like dating and being in a relationship. But yeah, so there's Halloween, technically, if you believe in the veil or whatever is lifted, or but that's all I got for the origin of Halloween. So it's actually England.
That's
I don't know where I thought it was gonna come from. I really don't think I had like a specific area. I was just kind of like, oh, I wonder where.
Yeah, I don't think I saw it coming from Ireland or
UK and Northern France.
The UK makes sense, or like, I guess, yeah, the UK, because they've been around forever and they've been around forever.
Yeah.
You know, conquering, beating, cheating, doing whatever they do.
So it's, gotta love it. Any questions? Anything you want to add?
So, yeah, like, when can I start trick-or-treating again?
Well,
that's pretty much
I'd
my
say
only question.
Whenever your daughter's old enough.
Well, we can go this year.
Oh yeah, we are technically. For work.
No.
We're getting candy.
You're right. We only get to keep 5, though. You know what toy I've been really wanting?
No, this is for...
Nope. She's been really wanting...
What, a power washer?
A pressure washer, yeah.
Or power washer?
She's been really wanting it.
She's been wanting it. She's
non-stop. She's just been
babbling it to you, whispering it into your ear.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I bet.
Okay. That was a good one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay,
took a lot of twists and turns. I really like the fact that it kind of blended in with all the different cultures, and we kind of made Halloween. I feel like that should be more common knowledge. Like, that's pretty cool.
We kind of made a lot of what Halloween is today.
Yeah.
It might have been for some interesting reasons, like them like trying to take it away from spookiness and keeping it more more family friendly.
I feel like it's always going to be intertwined.
It's always going to be,
but it's still cool.
Yeah, and
we got together.
Just remember, Halloween is on a Tuesday, so
this year.
Yep, it's on Tuesday this year.
October
30th,
2023. It's on a Tuesday.
It's on Tuesday.
That's whenever the club goes up, dude.
Yeah, on a Tuesday.
I wonder if that sings.
I know. I was literally just thinking.
Like, do you think people listen to it and they're like, "What the hell does that mean?"
I know. Well, I mean, it's just our generation, so older and younger would be like, huh?
I know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, like, older generation. Like, what am I going to say?
Going up on a Tuesday.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to think of what my parents say that doesn't make any sense to me, but maybe they thought was, like, cool when they were growing up.
I don't know. I think music will always be one.
Music's always going to be a point, I think, of contention, no matter what.
I know. I'm trying to...
What do you think the new wave is? Like, the new wave of music? I think it's going to be rock.
I think it's going to be rock again, too.
Yeah.
I mean, everything just kind of comes and goes, you know? Like, it cycles through. Like, history ends up kind of repeating itself, even though we don't want it to half the time.
I know, but it always does. But, like, I don't know how many more genres of music there are.
I don't know. Unless, yeah.
There's always, like, little subgenres.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wonder what the next big one's going to... I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
Like, in rap, too. Like, what the next big one is going to be in rap.
Mm-hmm.
And is it just going to become more, like, compartmentalized, where it's like, rock, this is a new wave of rock. This is a new wave of rap. This is the new wave of indie. You know?
It's like kind of like how they just keep on redoing movies, you know? This is a new reenacting or redoing or part 1 or part 2. It's a lot of the same stories over again.
That's
and it's
true.
Just like...
But, like, I feel like you grew up with Disney a lot. Like, you...
I grew up with... Yeah, I mean, that was...
I don't think that I don't have the same connection to Disney. Or
you
like,
don't.
But I love kids' movies.
I know, you love them.
Yeah,
Which, that's half of them are Disney.
No. Princess and the Frog is top tier. It's like the best
Disney.
one. I know that's Disney. That's the only one, though.
But what...
Okay,
what
Cars.
Else?
You got
Disney?
Cars. Oh, all right, dude. The Lorax.
Disney.
That's not Disney.
I'm pretty sure Disney owns it.
Well, they own everything.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
All the other ones.
I don't know.
Damn, I guess you're right, yeah.
Disney's...
But, like, the I guess the old classics, like Cinderella.
But you want a girl.
So,
like, mostly girls like princess movies.
Wow. You want to say that, dude, to my face right now?
Girls like princess movies.
Because
what? I don't even know if they're... What did boys watch?
Okay, we watched Ned's Declassified School
I'm
Survival
talking about
Guide.
when you were little. Like little.
What did I watch? Probably my siblings get more attention than me.
We should pause before you get too...
I'm not going to get riled up. That's it. That's all I watched.
Okay. I believe you. I'm just...
What did I watch? Hannah Montana? I guess.
I mean, you might as well have. All of them are freaking hilarious. Dude, do you remember the cheese and bacon? Nacho cheese and bacon?
No.
Jerky. Cheese and jerky.
No?
I'll show you later.
Cheese and jerky?
Yeah, I'll show you later. Real fans will know.
Well, if you're a real fan, let us know.
Montana.
But that's all we got for you this time.
Halloween.
Yeah. Happy Halloween. We got maybe a few more episodes of Halloween time.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll see you guys on the next one, okay?
See ya.
Bye.